Yeah, I'm talking about scams again. I don't know what to tell you. Every single minute there's another scam born, and every 5 minutes there's another victim of a scam being taken advantage of. It is unreal, the current landscape of the internet with how rampant scams are. It's crazy. There are more active scammers on this planet than there are ants. It's just vile. Nowhere and no one is safe. I'm going to make up a statistic real quick, and I want it to be an alarming one just to illustrate the intensity of the situation. 1 out of every 2 people in this world is either a scammer or a victim. So, sleep in fear. Now, today I'm going to be going over a scammer that I'm pretty confident most of you haven't heard of. I only recently learned about them thanks to a YouTuber named Maddie Balls, who made a great video exposing the whole situation and going over it thoroughly. So the link to the full video, of course, is going to be in the description of this one. I'm just going to show some of the clips and go over like the general broad strokes of what the scam is. It's a pretty interesting one, albeit nothing unique about it. But what I find interesting is their commitment to the facade. So the scammer is named Carter Jamieson, and he's built his career. Well, career is a term I'm using super loosely because it's an illusion of a career. Carter Jamieson is an Instagram influencer, which again is a term that has no meaning at all. That is the biggest nothing fucking sandwich of a term. But he has 1 million followers on Instagram, almost all of which are botted, by the way. And he sells courses, which are like media packages in order to get you clout. The man is a literal clout vendor. He's an exposure goblin, and you pay him thousands of dollars for these packages to hopefully blow up your brand or increase your online presence. That's his whole hustle. He's a guru scammer. There's nothing unique there whatsoever. But what's impressive about Carter Jamieson is his tenacity and persistence to prey on gullible kids and desperate adults. He seems to have been a born slimy weasel of a person because he's been scamming for quite some time now, and he's only 19 years old. This is a young man. He's like fresh out of high school and already a notorious scammer. In fact, he was one of the puppet masters behind Lana Rhoades' NFT scam from like 8 or 9 months ago, which I know a lot of you are probably familiar with because that was a huge scam. He was one of the people behind it that made off with $1.5 million in that rug pull. This was his first major scam, and I guess he must have really enjoyed the taste of shit in his mouth because he just continues to scam from here. It's only escalated. So not only does he do the press package shit where he like sells these $1,000 packages of like articles or whatever, he also does these very shady giveaways where I'm not entirely convinced people actually get the items they're supposed to receive from the giveaways. But even still, giveaways in and of themselves and the way that Carter Jamieson does them are always sketchy because he's hiring rappers and pretending to be friends with them in order to promote the giveaway. So that way people start following the account and, you know, signing up, whatever, all that under the idea that they're going to get this item, and also under the idea that the rapper that is there is a big supporter, so it must be legitimate, even though that's not exactly telling the whole story. Carter Jamieson also has 2 other NFT scams that he has run since the Lana Rhoades one, so he's just been on this upward trajectory of thousands upon thousands of scams that he just keeps fucking spearheading. And like I said, he's only 19. I have to imagine he started doing this as a child, like an actual toddler. Like he probably opened a lemonade stand when he was 8 years old, but didn't actually sell lemonade. He sold water with like a hint of lemon in it because he wanted to save money on the lemons. So he just sold people the idea of lemonade. Like, I guarantee this guy's been scamming for a long time. Like, probably took notes out of Ed, Edd n Eddy when they were scamming for Jawbreakers. He probably was scamming around his middle school for, you know, $15, $20 off like a homework racket or something. Like, this kid seems to just thrive off taking advantage of people and lying. His whole personality is fake. So I'm going to go ahead and play clips from the video so that we can get a deeper understanding of exactly how all of it works. But this one is a pretty sad one. Like, he's 19 years old and he's already a piece of shit. Carter Jamieson. I'm unfamiliar with that name.
Carter Jamieson is someone who's been seen with Chief Keef, Kodak Black, Lil Durk, Bobby Shmurda, Summer Rae, Lil Yachty, Steve Will Do It, Cole Bennett, and many other celebrities. But how...
I'm going to just take a guess. Knowing nothing about this, he paid to take all of those pictures with those celebrities. He's a trust fund kid with a lot of access to money. So he puts on a front that he's actually a popular guy, like friends with all these rappers, and he uses it to try and promote. I'm just going to do crypto. I think crypto's easiest. Lock it in.
the digital marketing company Gateway Agency. But I think he's a liar. So to understand how this guy has made
Called
millions
out,
from
Jesus.
lying, misleading, and scamming, we have to dig a little bit deeper. Recently started
Oh, actually, damn, fuck. I'm starting to change my mind. Maybe it's not crypto. Maybe he sells like courses. Maybe he's one of those gurus, like get rich quick guru kind of shit. Because he's a 19-year-old entrepreneur, owner of Gateway Agency or some shit. Whatever other imaginary made-up garbage he comes up with. I'll stick it out on crypto. I won't backpedal.
getting a ton. Is he really even a scammer? Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and take a stab at it. He does not have all of these followers legitimately, 100% botted to a certain level. A lot of people on Instagram do that. How does this kid know all these people? He doesn't. He pays to be near them. And who is he? Just a kid with a lucky spawn, born to a wealthy family.
so Carter Jamieson is another one of those social media gurus you see online, but instead of selling you a course, he's selling you popularity. You might notice he has decent
I
engagement
was
and
wrong.
relationships with one guru who promises to scale your digital footprint to the
My second guess was the right one. Son of a bitch. Yeah, maybe crypto's too outdated now. Everyone just immediately conflates anything meta, Web3, whatever with a scam. Rightfully so, by the way. Like, yeah, if he's a modern scammer, he would have had to adapt into the guru space, which is now the money maker.
actually proves his guiltiness. Botted engagement. Before his engagement
Sounds
increased
about
100
right.
times because of Juice WRLD
That's
fans
Instagram.
hate bombing him, he could be seen botting his account, as you can see from all these fake comments. And if that isn't proof enough,
No,
here's a
this is
picture of
really
him testing
fire.
out botted engagement
Shit's
on one of
flames.
his Twitter accounts. And here on his YouTube channel, you can see over 1,000 botted comments on one of his YouTube shorts that only has 600 likes. So it's
Huge.
safe to assume that he's botting likes and possibly followers.
They're
too.
just very
Then there's
passionate,
his
and they
press.
forgot to
When I
like.
first saw on his website that he had a ton of articles and content, and another even says this story is paid for by an advertiser. Members
I actually had no idea that that shit was there. Obviously, a lot of journalism is paid content. Like, I mean, is what it is. I didn't know that they actually disclosed it in those cases. I thought they still kind of kept that under wraps. But I guess they also got hit by some new guidelines or something, or maybe I've just been oblivious to those notices.
someone with a lot of followers, we tend to think they're legitimate.
The deception
I
exists
don't.
because the large follower numbers trick our brains into giving out credibility naturally from the social proof. More followers means more credibility, right?
But I don't think Carter's
Maybe I'm being baselessly optimistic, but I feel like that perception's starting to waver a bit. It used to be bigger number, trustworthy person. That used to be the rule, but I think with crypto and everything, it's kind of shaken everyone's faith in that concept. So I'm hoping that's changing, because it feels like it kind of is, slowly but surely. But maybe I'm just wrong in wanting to believe. I like how the YouTuber is basically milking this guy's downfall for views and content. Why does everyone have to have like some kind of weird contrarian perspective on everything? This guy even said at the beginning, like, he was a very generous guy about this whole thing. He's just telling the story, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's just telling the story about this guy's hustle, which is a scam. It's so weird. What goes on in your mind to want to immediately take some kind of weird combative stance on someone just literally exposing a scammer? I don't get it. I actually don't understand it. It's just too easy to agree, so someone has to disagree even if they don't believe. I suppose, but I'm not here to be an armchair psychologist. I really just don't get it.
He uses a method called loop giveaways where he partners with popular people to give away items. Carter and probably others will spam DM people with details about the giveaway campaign. They show
Jesus
the
Christ.
estimated growth and how much it'll cost to buy into it. And the reason that account will be following all of the investors. So in return for their money, they will be receiving thousands of real followers. So when he gets that investor money, he buys the items for the giveaways, flies out to meet the influencer or the rapper, takes some pictures with them to make his Instagram look better, takes pictures for the giveaway, pays the influencer, and keeps a ridiculous amount of money
God.
for doing little to nothing.
Oh my
It really is
God.
an infinite money glitch. And the giveaways themselves aren't necessarily scams. They're not against Instagram.
It's like a social media STD,
And I
yeah.
think he actually does give away the items. He might not. I'm not sure. I have seen people say they haven't gotten their stuff. That might not be true. But we have, and his business offers a variety of other overpriced services. For example, you can buy different press packages that offer articles and other sorts of
For the low cost of $8,000, you can get the musician package, which is a 15 article package. Oh, whoa, and I missed the... Oh, that's the low end. What the fuck? The $20,000 value is so much better. It even has the word cheaper. It's the Market Domination Press Package, which is 20 mid-tier press package. How are you supposed to gain clout without spending 20 grand on this package? Holy shit, wait, all the answers are right here. This is the key to success. He's giving away the keys to the kingdom, holy fuck. And for the low cost of 20 grand?
Press, like this Google Knowledge Panel package, which costs $6,500 when you can do it for free yourself. Then in the description, he has the nerve to say, you must have 20 other notable articles.
Yeah.
He sells ad management, verification, websites, billboard advertisements, and more. And I'm going to take a random shot.
Why? Who is dumb enough to pay for a fucking billboard advertisement? Who in their right fucking mind is like, oh my god, the billboard package. I need it. I'm gonna blow up with a good billboard. I don't think a single human being of the last 10 years has looked at a billboard and actually signed up or even visited what it was advertising.
Especially because apparently they only accept payments through Cash App, which is very sketchy. And I guess he also used to sell paid shoutouts on his Instagram and then just delete them right away after you paid for it, which probably didn't really make a difference because most of his Instagram followers are either inactive or fake. And if none of this, reason that I believe he is scamming when it comes to the giveaways and the influencer marketing is because he's been caught scamming before. Before Carter brought his scams to the rap community, he was exposed for being one of the masterminds behind Lana Rhoades, CryptoSys, NFT rug pull, where her, Carter, and some others made off with $1.5 million in Ethereum.
It's crazy. Somehow, anytime there's a scam, it's like this interconnected web. Like, all of the scammers that currently exist have always existed, and they've been part of all the other scams we've followed. What a throwback. Another reoccurring character. Another season that they're making an appearance in, another cameo.
There were 6,069 awful-looking NFTs that were being marketed as an investment, and investors were promised that this was a long...
Unlike other pump-and-dump projects, we don't just plan on stopping after minting, so we actually have to be able to fund all that stuff.
They were hyping it up so much to the point where multiple people even got tattoos of the NFT, and they were reposting it. Personally, I can't imagine knowingly scamming people, watching them get tattoos of the NFT, and reposting it. So they...
I'll tell you one thing, I can absolutely imagine that. If you're one of those absolute bumbling idiots that buys into CryptoSys and you feel so strongly about it, you get a tattoo on your fucking thigh of the CryptoSys logo, you deserve to be laughed at. The scammer at that point, I'm on the scammer side. Laughing at you is like the least they can do. You've earned that shit. That's a fat fucking L. My god. Everything else I disagree with the scammer on, but laughing at people that do that, I actually completely agree.
$1.6 million was drained out of this mint for the NFTs one day after they sold the collection.
The reason that they did this is because apparently Lana's feelings got hurt by the negativity in the community, but obviously this was just an excuse to take the money. Tons of people in the community talked about this rug pull, so it's a pretty well-known scam, and somehow Carter still has a career. And this wasn't the first time that Lana... Right now, Carter has other NFT projects like Billionaire Butterfly Club, which I'm assuming is
I was kind of right. He is doing crypto scams.
Rug pull type of deal. But
this is the Fraternity Apes party. Guys, everybody in this is in the highest level frat of the real life.
Fraternity Apes Party,
or FAP for
short, is an NFT project where the incentive isn't an investment, but it's that you could go to a cool party with tons of influencers and celebrities, and only holders
that's
of the
worth
NFT can get in. I doubt any of the people there owned one of these awful-looking NFTs. They somehow even got the Nelk Boys to show up, but they probably paid them too.
Yeah,
and then they actually
somehow they got Steve Will Do It there. The guy notorious for literally accepting anything that has a dollar bill attached to it. It's a mystery to me how the fuck Nelk ended up there. This kid, I'll crack the code. I think I was right initially. This kid came from money, and he used that money to buy himself an advantage, to put himself in the position so he could scam people easily by presenting himself as a popular influencer. So he did the crypto scams with Lana Rhoades. He's doing the guru scams right now with the gateway giveaways, and he's done, 2 other crypto-based scams with NFTs and shit? He's just one of those douchebags. Perpetually living in his father's shadow.
Fake lifestyle. The rappers and the other people partnering with him, or more likely their management, should probably look a little bit more into who they're partnering with.
Why would they do that?
At the money they're going to receive, because then they end up associating with a bunch of scammers, which doesn't really make them look good.
Yeah, but their audience doesn't care. This was a great video. Good shit, Matty Balls. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this guy. This is an interesting story. Hold on, I want to look something up right now. This video is not very old, right? It's like 2 months old. Has he addressed this? His whole Instagram is fucking rough. But yeah, it's just shit like this. It's just him holding money. I don't even think people buy his course, I'll just say it. I think people are not dumb enough to fall for someone like this. You'd be surprised. I guess, but his prices are outrageous. $8,000 all the way up to $20,000. Like, nobody can afford those packages. Like, the only people in his audience that might not be aware it's a scam are actual teenagers that are just blinded by, like, TikTok clout and an overwhelming, insatiable desire for attention. They can't afford $8,000 packages, and certainly not the $20,000 package. So, like, who the fuck is his audience? Or, rather, his clients. No one can afford that shit. You underestimate the stupidity of the average adult. I really don't. I feel like of most people in the world, I am usually pretty on the mark with how dumb people can be. This is just out of the price range of stupid people. And certainly out of the price range of stupid kids. You were surprised by the age of CryptoZoo victims. I was very surprised by that. You are correct. That one did catch me off guard. I wouldn't have expected adults to be in the Logan Paul audience, let alone falling for a Logan Paul NFT project. But that was a low barrier of entry for them. This is an extremely high barrier. Especially for very little return. Meet the 18-year-old who's the CEO of a successful social media agency. And then right underneath that, this is paid for by the advertiser. Ah, so it's trustworthy then, huh? Surely this will be an unbiased look at his story. Let's see. More than the stunning content, he wanted to explore the algorithm that leads the influencers to a staggering number of followers. After 6 years of grinding with Instagram, Jameson was finally successful in decoding the algorithm to earn over 1 million followers. He decoded it, he was in the mainframe, and then he found the secret, which is his daddy's credit card to buy bots. Little botted followers. Fucking genius. Holy shit, this guy's good. He's a savant. He's like the Mozart of Instagram. Because he never did anything? Well, no, I just wanted to know about, like, his parents. Like, usually in these kind of cases, they always try to be that person that pulls themselves up by their own bootstraps. Like, I came from nothing. My dad was a normal blue-collar worker, just a true red-blooded American patriot working 2 jobs to put food on the table for me and my 6 brothers. And my mom also had to work night shifts down at the local cemetery. Like, I don't know. Usually just like some kind of sob story. So that people like relate to it somehow and like put him on a pedestal of wow, he did it himself. But he didn't even bother with that step. Do all scammers usually come from a rich family? I wouldn't say all of them. That'd be a disservice to say all of them. But I would argue a good 85 to 90% of all scammers do come from a very privileged background. At least in the digital age.